is the focus that Robbie has had. I mean, obviously very focused on the long distance jump last year, but he seemed a little freer in his thought. This time, I think he's been practicing, he's been thinking, he's been developing his situation, and I think this time he is more focused than ever. And he talked about his trainer, Ryan Hughes. For those of you that don't know Ryan, a championship motorcycle racer, a guy that has a lot of heart, dedication, determination, and he is also instilling the same thing in Robbie. So Matto comes to this more prepared than ever, and what I see the difference is Matto more focused and more tuned in than I've ever seen him before.
What a showman as he wheelies down the entire length of the 200-foot run-up ramp, that in-run distance to the takeoff ramp that goes 35 feet high, 42 feet long. And now what we will see here is a few speed runs. Tess talked about that optimal speed, and he needs to get it just right. There is no room for error tonight. The bike is a Yamaha YZ250. He's 220 pounds, and he's hoping to take that 220 pounds and crest it at about 108 feet up in the air to get over that lip. Tess, how many speed runs do you anticipate?
Well, really, it's how Robbie feels. He may do 3, 4, or 5. You saw there, he stopped next to his mechanic, Buddy Morgan, took a look at what the radar gun said. He's really now feeling it, too, because part of riding a motorcycle at this level is it's the noise the motorcycle makes. You know when it's going the right speed. You feel it. Robbie's trying to feel it, too, but he's also wanting to check the numbers, so you'll see him make a few of these before he's connected to the ramp.
His parents gave him his first dirt bike, and they bought him a new one every year. He's been riding since he was 4.5 years old. Jumping motorcycles, you saw all the injuries that he's dealt with through the years. In fact, he made a comeback from a broken leg suffered just in May 2007. That was before that distance jump that he pulled off on last New Year's Eve. And now, Tess, we see some communication with his team, Buddy Morgan and Dane Herron.
Well, Buddy looked pretty confident there. He looks happy. I mean, Buddy is the hardest working man in show business around here. He has to get that bike absolutely perfect. You have to think about the altitude. You have to think about how cold it is, because it all affects the miles an hour that that bike will travel. But big smile so far on Buddy and Dane's faces.
Another speed run as Robbie is trying to get it just right. Cam, we heard from Tess in terms of the optimal speed, but what about the mental preparation at this point with these speed runs? The last minute boost of confidence of knowing you have it right. How big of a factor is that?
It's a huge factor. One thing, Joe, I noticed is I saw the wheelies Robbie was riding. He actually got a nose wheelie as well. Mentally, it shows you that he's tuned in, he's feeling loose, he's feeling like he's in the zone. If he's willing to work with the motorcycle, pseudo playing around, it seems like he's more tuned in and ready to go. So if you saw him doing speed runs and he had that worried look, it would worry me, but seeing him loose and play around.
A feat that only boyish imagination could dream up, now attempted by a well-prepared man who is fully aware of his dangers. Robbie Madison is saying, this is it. To the top of the arc, he wants to go.